on the point of the sword. We didn't do it. Today, more than 80% of the population of India, they are non-Muslims. These 80% non-Muslims, they are giving shahada, they are bearing witness that Islam was not spread by the sword. Indonesia has the maximum number of Muslims. Which Muslim army went to Indonesia? Which Muslim army went to the east coast of Africa? Which Muslim army went to Malaysia? Which sword? The reply to this is given by the famous historian Thomas Carlyle in his book Heroes and Hero Worship. And he places Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as hero number one. He says that the sword indeed, but where will you get your sword? Every opinion at its beginning, it is precisely in one man's head. One man against the whole world believes in it. One man against all men. That he will pick up the sword and propagate it will do little for him. You must take your sword and propagate it. Thomas Carlyle is talking about the sword of reasoning, the sword of intellect. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, in Surah Nahl chapter number 16, verse number 125, Udu ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal maw'izatil hasana wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan. And invite all to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preachings, and argue with them and reason with them in the ways that are best and most gracious. Even if we had the sword of metal and steel, we could not use it. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, in Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 256, La ikraha fid deen, let there be no compulsion in religion. Qad tabayyana ar-rushdu min al-ghayy. Truth stands out clear from error. Thomas Carlyle is talking about the sword of reasoning, the sword of intellect. The sword which conquers the hearts and minds of people. There was an article published in the Reader's Digest, Almanac, Yearbook 1984. And it was reprinted in the Plain Truth magazine, which showed the statistics of the increase of the major world religions from 1934 to 1984. And number one religion, it was Islam, which increased by 235%. Christianity, only 47%. Which war took place between 1934 to 1984, which caused millions of people to accept Islam? Which war? Today, the fastest growing religion in America is Islam. The fastest growing religion in Europe is Islam. Which sword is forcing these Americans and Europeans to accept Islam in large numbers? If hijab subjugates the woman, if Islam subjugates the woman, then out of the people who are accepting Islam, why are 2/3 of them women? Who is forcing them? Who is forcing these American and European women to accept Islam? I would like to end this answer with the famous saying of Dr. Joseph Adam Pearson. Dr. Joseph Adam Pearson rightly says that people who worry that nuclear weaponry will fall in the hands of the Arabs, they fail to realize that the Islamic bomb, the bomb of the religion of peace, has already been dropped. It fell the day Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born. The fifth most common question is that why does Islam permit a Muslim man to have more than one wife? Earlier this misconception, it was at the top of the charts. But now it has come down to number 5. Jihad and terrorism has overtaken. The question is, why does Islam permit polygamy? Polygamy is divided into 2 types: polygyny and polyandry. Polygyny is where a man marries more than one wife, and polyandry is where a woman marries more than one husband. In Islam, limited polygyny is permitted, whereas polyandry, it is completely prohibited. In fact, Quran is the only religious book on the face of the earth which says that marry only one. There is no other religious book on the face of the earth which says that marry only one. whether it be the Talmud, whether it be the Old Testament, whether it be the Ramayana, whether it be the Bible, Quran is the only religious book on the face of the earth which says that marry only one. And if you read Ramayana, the father of Sri Ram, King Dashrath, he had more than one wife. According to Mahabharata, Krishna, how many wives did he have? 4, 10, 100, 1,000, 16,108. If Krishna can have 16,108 wives, why can't we Muslim have maximum 4? Even if you read the Christian scriptures, according to the Bible, a Christian can marry as many wives as he wishes. It was later on that the Christian church, they put a restriction and said that a Christian should marry only one wife. Even if you read the Jewish scriptures, the Talmud, the Old Testament, Abraham, he had 3 wives. Solomon had 700 wives. So even according to the Jewish scriptures, a Jew can marry as many wives as he wishes. It was later on that Rabbi Joshim bin Yehuda, he issued an edict against it and said that a Jew should marry only one wife. Even the Jewish community that lived among the Muslims, even they married more than one wife till as late as 1950. It was later on that the chief rabbi of Israel, he put a ban, he put a restriction and said that a Jew should marry only one wife. Whereas according to the scriptures, a Jew can marry as many wives as he wishes. Same thing in the Hindu scriptures. A Hindu can marry as many wives as he wishes. If you read the statistics of the status of women in Islam published on page number 66 and 67, which showed that Muslims did 4.31% polygamous marriages, whereas the Hindus did 5.06%, 0.75% more than the Muslims. Even though it is illegal for a Hindu to have more than one wife, after it being illegal, the Hindus were more polygamous as compared to the Muslims. I don't know if it was legal how much the percentage would have reached to. But according to the Hindu scriptures, a Hindu can marry as many wives as he wishes. It was later on that the Indian government, the Indian Penal Code, in 1954, in the Special Marriage Act, they put a ban and said that a Hindu should marry only one wife. Whereas, according to the scriptures, a Hindu can marry as many wives as he wishes. 4, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, no upper limit.